after you experience, learn and evolve is the name of the game. When you look at where the Sagittarius sign is in which house in the D9 chart, in the Navamsa chart. Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro. We have been doing this series of planets in different signs in the Navamsa, also different signs in different houses in the Navamsa, and what they pertain, what they bring and what are they giving to us in terms of opportunities and higher possibilities. Because the Navamsa, the D9 chart is a chart of higher probabilities, going a step beyond that, even possibilities. So in the light of signs in different houses in the Navamsa, today we will be doing the Sagittarius sign in the 12 houses in the Navamsa, what kind of results it will bring to us, what kind of permutations, combinations it will bring to us, and what kind of higher probabilities in terms of gains it brings to us. Now when the Sagittarius sign is in the first house in the Navamsa, now what is the Sagittarius sign? Sagittarius sign is about your ability to be optimistic, honest. However, this is also a sign where the person may be taking a few more risks rather than the other signs. A sign of fun, adventure, expansion as well. So here when the Sagittarius sign is in the first house in the Navamsa, so the person in his or her life will be somebody who will be very optimistic, usually very honest person, and sometimes pushes the envelope where risk taking is concerned. However, very fun loving, at the same time a little more adventurous also, more than even their partners, because the Navamsa, the D9 chart, is a horoscope or a chart of somebody who gets into a partnership, or it's a more partnership oriented horoscope or chart. So yeah, in terms of your acquaintances, your partnerships, your relationships, a person will be somebody who's more even-tempered, kind-hearted, yet at the same time a little bit pushing the envelope, taking a little risk as well. So usually this person may also take a few risks in terms of their partnerships or their ability to get into union with somebody else. So the initial part of life, where because it is a fiery sign, you also get into some relations, certain acquaintances, certain partnerships which may not be those which may be evenly balanced for you. So you learn, as I said at the start, you learn and then you evolve after you experience those ups and downs, and after that, once you are evolving, then gains come to us. So yeah, the Sagittarius sign in the Lagna is that in most situations of your life, especially when it's concerned about dealing with other people, getting into partnerships, in relationships, even in your marital life, this is the sign where unless you are ready to learn, whether you are ready to accommodate, you are ready to experiment a little bit, yet being very optimistic, very enthusiastic, then only results will come to us. However, this person can be a little more straight talking person, very frank person, because they are also very risk taking but optimistic. So they are very optimistic that okay, I can get away by saying the truth, by being very honest. However, sometimes the other partner may not be ready for your honesty or your frankness to the extent that you believe it. So sometimes there will be pushback. There will also be people who may not like it and may either tell you to your face, because of which challenges may come by, or sometimes keep it in their heart and not tell you, because here you are somebody who can be very talkative and you can talk your way out of most of the challenges. So many times you don't give in. You don't say, okay, this is my mistake, I'm at fault here. You may give in a little bit here and there, but most of the time you stand your ground because you think you are right. And so there may be arguments, there may be challenges. So this is a placement where sometimes you need to learn to evolve more before gains come to you, and the gains coming to you are through your partnerships, your ability to form relationships, to keep the balance in the relationship. So this can be a very good placement if Sagittarius is in the first house in the Navamsa, as long as the balance, the evolution through your experiences, and also being somebody who's more accommodative, experiencing the challenges, the situation, evolving through them, and then gaining from that placement in the long run. So if you have Sagittarius in the first sign, you know the work is cut out for you in terms of how the approach in terms of partnerships, relationships should be. While gains will come, but not without going through the ups and downs and the experiences and learning at the start. Now when the Sagittarius sign is in the second house of the D9 chart of the Navamsa chart, what is the second house all about? Especially in the Navamsa, it is about how through your values, your integrity, you are able to gain high when you are able to keep the balance in your relationship, balance in your acquaintances, and you're also able to work out and iron out the challenges with the opposite person or with the opposite party, whether you are in a partnership or in the relationship, using your values and your integrity. So one of your important values and something which also is very important in terms of your relationships is your integrity. Somebody who needs to be very committed, who is also somebody who is very dependable. So unless the other party, the other partner is able to depend on you, have faith in you, trust in you, and you carry yourself with those values and that integrity, then only the gains will come to you, which the Sagittarius sign promises. Remember, the Sagittarius sign is the 9th house of the Kalpurush Kundi. So the 9th house of gains energy is also carried by Sagittarius sign, whichever house it gets into. So here, because it is getting into the second house, which means gains in terms of your livelihood, your earning will come to you when you carry your values and integrity. But when you're ready to learn and evolve, which I said right at the start of the video, unless you're ready to experience the challenges, the issues, the problems, and through that evolve and learn, and then be able to change your demeanor, change your approach, then better income comes to you, better increments come to you, higher livelihood comes to you, and higher savings comes to you also. However, this is also a placement where many a times the people that you get in touch with, the people that you relate to, the people that you work with may be very different from you in terms of their own values, their own approach in life. So your spouse may be very different from your close friends. Your boss at work may be very different from your team members. So you meet with a variety of people because you need to learn, which the Sagittarius sign energy brings. So the life or the zodiac or the Shrishti is throwing at you different situations from time to time, so that you learn, then you evolve, and then you make gains. So if you have Sagittarius sign in the second house, the work cut out for you is, in spite of challenges, situations which bring you every now and then ups and downs, especially connected to your relationships, your acquaintances, and you being able to be the person who's more flexible, who's ready to learn, who's ready to evolve through those experiences and then make gains, is the placement of Sagittarius in the second house. So the work cut out for you is, if you want higher gains, especially in terms of your livelihood, your earning, your potential to save, then be ready to be more flexible, be ready to evolve, be ready to learn, and then make gains from your relationships, your acquaintances, and your partnerships. Now when the Sagittarius sign is in the third house of the Navamsa, the third house of the Navamsa is one of the important placements in your relationships, in your acquaintances. See, on one side we say the Navamsa is the horoscope or the chart of partnerships, relationships, acquaintances. However, anything that we do in our lives, what is it all about? We are working either with a boss or with a subordinate or with a partner or a better half or with a children. Through the day we are communicating or dealing or relating or negotiating with somebody or the other. So that's why the Navamsa chart becomes very important, because without people there is no life for you. Your work is connected with people, working with people, your relationships are connected with people, your children are people, they are not robots. So yeah, it's important that the third house, the house of effort, so the zodiac, the Shrishti is telling you that you need to put in your effort to learn. That is what the Sagittarius sign is all about. Without putting in an effort to learn, to evolve through the experiences those relations throw at you, you will not be able to gain. Because what is the third house? The third house is an Upachaya house, which means unless you put in the effort over a period of time, only then gains come to you. Unlike some other houses where the gains may be easier, and gains may come through your luck. The third house is not about that. The third house is the house of effort, your self-enterprise, and it is an Upachaya house, just like the 6th, the 10th and the 11th house. But this is the most important house of effort. So, and that's why there is also a video which I made where I am calling the third house as the key to your destiny itself. That's how important the third house is. So if you're ready to put in the effort to be able to work on your communication, to be able to put in how you're able to deal with others, and sometimes also using your enterprising and using your limbs, your hands, your feet to do something artistic, to do something innovative, be even teaching, consulting, guiding others, including in your relationship, then you earn and you gain from it. However, the gains are not so much only in terms of monetary benefit. The gains are more in terms of how you are able to create a certain degree of branding for others, how people start looking at you. And because people start looking at you as somebody who's hardworking, who's very accommodative, who's learning, who's ready to be very flexible in your communication, which the third house represents, then the gains come to you, because then people become accommodative towards you, people become more giving to you, and people also are somebody who will also put in the same degree of effort. So the third house is all about using balance, which the Navamsa represents, and Sagittarius sign, the sign of accommodation, learning, evolving through your experiencing, and then making your gains. Now, when the Sagittarius sign is in the 4th house of your Navamsa chart, what is the 4th house in the Navamsa? First of all, the 4th house is your domestic life. The 4th house is your peace, your tranquility, the assets that you make. The Navamsa is what gains you will make through your relationships, your partnership, your acquaintances, your ability to deal with other people. So here, when the Sagittarius sign goes into the 4th house, the Srishti, the zodiac is telling you, without your ability to learn, which the Sagittarius sign represents, and learn where? Learn through your experiences, learn through the situations that will be thrown at you. More so in your domestic life, because that's what the 4th house represents, especially that of the Navamsa, which means in your domestic life there will be times where certain experiences will be thrown at you, certain situations will be something that you go through it, and your challenge, your job, your karma will be to learn through those experiences and evolve as a person. And only through the learning and evolution, which the Sagittarius sign represents, while being very optimistic, while being more giving, while being very expansive, which the Sagittarius sign represents, only then will the comforts of the 4th house, the peace, the tranquility, the happiness, the nice things that come with the domestic life will all come to you. You will be able to make assets, which means the more you learn, the more you earn, especially the material assets that you want. So cars, conveniences, house, everything will come to you when you have that flexibility in terms of your learning and evolution, while keeping the domestic life peaceful and happy. Now, when the Sagittarius sign goes into the 5th house of the Navamsa chart, this is a very important placement, because what is the Navamsa? The Navamsa is about your relationships, your partnerships, your acquaintances. The 5th house, especially that in the Navamsa, more so in the Navamsa rather than in the D1 chart, is about how you are able to use your that touchy, feely, mushy, romantic approach to your relationships. That's why the 5th house in the Navamsa become even more important in your relationships more than your D1 chart, because in your D1 chart it can be more about career changes, children, investments, all that, which it is also to a certain extent in the Navamsa. But in the Navamsa it is more about your approach to your romantic partner, your romantic liaison, how you approach your relationship, because that establishes your Navamsa, that establishes your partnership, which means that you will have to be somebody who will learn through your experiences, through your romantic liaisons, which means many times initial part of life, initial dating life or courting, whatever you're going through, you will find that you may be thrown into situations where the second person, if at all the first relationship is not working out for whatever reason, teenagers and all that, the second person may be very different from the first one, and there will be new learning from the second person. So you feel that, okay, the last breakup was bad, was not good at all, and I don't want to deal with that kind of a person. So here you may, in fact, you may come across as with a very different person, and you may want to get into a relationship or a romance with a person who's slightly different. However, the new relationship will bring in a new set of challenges, very different from the first one. And sometimes you start thinking, was the first one better, or is this relationship, the current one, good for me? So the Shrishti, the zodiac, will keep throwing challenges at you to learn, evolve through the experiences in your romance. Then the second part is that in your ability to be able to bring about a change in your career, in your work, that will come through your ability to work with other people, to be able to establish a rapport with other people, to be able to establish a relationship with one-downs with other people at work. However, the career changes, the career gains will not come to you unless and until you are able to work on this relationship, especially because the 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house. So in your Navamsa, it means that through partnerships, evolving, changing, and then learning, only then will the gains come to you. Now when the Sagittarius sign goes into the 6th house in the Navamsa, what is the 6th house of the Navamsa? The 6th house of the Navamsa represents the gains which comes to serving or service. However, because it is the Navamsa, the zodiac, the Shrishti, is telling you that unless you are ready to serve in your acquaintances, in your romances as well, in your relationship, and with people who work below you, only then the gains will come to you from your service. So usually people who are working for somebody or working under somebody, unless you're ready to learn with the Sagittarius sign means. So what is the Sagittarius sign? The Sagittarius sign is about how through your experiences you learn and evolve as a person, and through the evolution you become somebody who can even serve better, deal with people better, gain from them also, and keep challenges away, keep problems away, keep the issues away, especially of people who are working behind your back, your enemies, those people who are inimical to you. So the zodiac is throwing a challenge at you that if you truly want to gain, if you truly want to score over your competition, if you truly want to keep challenges, problems away, if you truly want that people should not be working behind your back, then work on your relationship through your ability to learn, through your ability to be more optimistic. Sometimes you can be more risk-taking because it is the Sagittarius energies, and you can rub people the wrong way. So be it, if sometimes this situation comes by and you have done that already, then making up or then creating the balance in the relationship, because Navamsa, it's about balance, and the relationship is for you and it's up to you. If you do that, you may do better in your service. You can be somebody who serves better in your relationships, in your acquaintances, and through that you also able to keep, not only make gains, but also keep challenges and problems of the 6th house away. Now when the 7th house in the Navamsa has the Sagittarius sign, this is an important sign because in the 7th house, especially the Sagittarius sign, because what is the Navamsa about? The Navamsa is about relationships, is about partnerships, is about your acquaintances. And what is the 7th house about? The 7th house, especially in the Navamsa, is very important because 7th house represents relationships, acquaintances, partnerships, people who you work with on a day-to-day basis. So when the Sagittarius sign is going in the 7th house and in the Navamsa, here the double work is given to you to learn through your ability to be able to strike partnerships, rapport, and then gain. So firstly, the Sagittarius sign is about evolution through the situations that the zodiac is throwing at you, and you experience those and then learn and then grow and evolve as a person. Now, what is the evolution as a person that you have to do in your partnership? You have to become a better partner. You have to be more flexible. You have to be more accommodative. Because what is the 7th house? In the Kalpurush Kundli, the 7th house has the Libra sign. Libra sign is what? The weighing scale, the balance, which means you need to keep the balance. You need to be able to work out or iron out the challenges with your partner. So when you see that sometimes in your partnerships, in your acquaintances, in your married life, the other person is not as accommodative, as maybe even tempered as you, or as wise as you, as balanced as you, then you will have to take the initiative to be more balanced, to be more somebody who can be approached more, and who you yourself are approaching the person and trying to iron out the differences and carry the balance. Now the risk here is, Sagittarius is a very risk-taking sign. The risk that you take is sometimes you can be little bit more giving because you're optimistic and you feel if I give more at the start, I will be accommodated by the partner later. So now here, because it is the Sagittarius sign and you are more enthusiastic and optimistic, sometimes you may give more than what is needed. However, the Sagittarius sign is also the sign of gains. Remember, the 9th house and the Kalpurush only had the Sagittarius sign, which means the gains will absolutely come to you over a period of time. Sometimes later there for somebody, sometimes early. However, if you are somebody who's optimistic, who's more balanced, who can learn through the experiences and you can learn with different people will come with a different set of challenges, with different baggages and different sets of personalities, different set of attitudes. If you are able to learn to deal with different kinds of people in different situations, then you can gain from every partnership. For example, your partnership with your boss, or your partnership within your business partnership, or in your marital relationships also. As long as the 7th house and the Sagittarius sign coming energy, you are able to balance, you are able to learn, and then you are able to gain. Now when the Sagittarius sign goes into the 8th house in the Navamsa, this is a slightly tricky placement. Usually the 8th house is a little tricky. However, the Sagittarius sign. So what is the Sagittarius sign? Learning, evolution, experiences. 8th house is about upheavals, transformation, obstacles, challenges, suddenness, mysteries. So yeah, Sagittarius sign going into the 8th house, which means you will be thrown to learn through those transformations, to learn through those obstacles. So a lot of learning opportunities keep coming to you through upheavals, through obstacles, through challenges, through sudden events, and you are expected to transform and evolve as a more learned person, more wise person, more giving person, more optimistic person, more even-tempered person. So here, that balance is required from you rather than somebody else. However, the Navamsa is about partnerships, it's about relationships, it's about your acquaintances, it's about how you learn to deal with other people. So there may be upheavals, obstacles, challenges in more or less every relationship that you have, especially at the start. So first time you join a job, for the first few months it will be difficult to learn with, difficult to cope with your boss. You have a new team, you have a new person who joining your team, even below you. It will take time for you to evolve through the relationship and start to gel with the person, start to get along. So in almost any situations, you will be expected to be able to learn, understand, and to even out challenges. However, the challenges will be thrown to you, and only when the transformation happens through the upheavals, which you learn in your acquaintances, in your relationship with the Navamsa represent, then the issues and the problems will subside over a period of time and gains will come to you. So usually the gains may be sudden gains also come to you because it is the Sagittarius sign, where the gains may also come from governmental job, somebody working in taxation and industry, banking industry, accounting, and teaching, learning, even consulting. So somebody, the Sagittarius in the 9th house can be, in 8th house can be somebody who is also teaching people of challenges in life, problems in life, can be a guide, can be a doctor, can be some sort of a healing person, some sort of a guide, some sort of a consulting person for challenges in life the other person faces. Now when the Sagittarius sign is in the 9th house of the Navamsa, this is a very strong energy, this is a very, very potent energy, because now the Navamsa has become the Kalpurush Kundi with Aries as the ascendant, and that's why the Sagittarius sign has gone into the 9th house. However, what is the Navamsa about? The Navamsa, the D9 chart, is about balance, relationships, acquaintances, partnerships, ability to learn from your partnerships, your acquaintances, and through your learning, then be able to gain. So when the Sagittarius sign is in the 9th house of the Navamsa, the zodiac is expecting that you learn through the situations that you go through in your relationships, in your acquaintances, in your partnership, and through the learning, then you are able to gain also, and the gains which come to you also are very high order. However, this is also placement where there can also be a lot of competency which is attached to your learning. For example, gaining higher qualifications, learning through workshops, learning through working in different organizations, learning through dealing with different kinds of people, learning through traveling. So sometimes you have to also travel away from your mindset that you have grown up with or what you have learned, and then through those new opportunities, new evolution that the Sagittarius sign is throwing at you through those connections, sometimes long distance, sometimes dealing with people from foreign lands, sometimes dealing with people from different cultures, then you gain. This could also mean sometimes you meet a spouse also through a learning experiences. Many people with Sagittarius in the 9th house and the Navamsa will have some school romance or will have some college romance, sometimes which sometimes more than the others may also prolong a little bit more. And sometimes it may also end up as the first and the last relationship also for you, where the school sweetheart or somebody who you have met at college also becomes your partner lifelong, or at least for a very long time. With this placement also, sometimes you meet people at workshops or in your higher qualifications, and then the person becomes your partner also. Sometimes this person can also be a lifetime partner for you. But the best placement that Sagittarius sign in the 9th house brings to you is that many times this gives you the ability to be able to grow through your partnership, and the partner also brings new learning for you. Sometimes the partner, especially the person, if the person is very wise, can also bring new learning for you, through which the higher gains may also come to you over a period of time. Now, when the Sagittarius sign is in the 10th house of the Navamsa chart, this is a very strong, potent energy. Why is this a very strong energy? Because what is the Navamsa about? The Navamsa is about your acquaintances, your partnerships, your relationships, your ability to work with different people. And in today's world, the place where you need to be most flexible to be able to work with others is at work. In your home, in your domestic life, sometimes if you're a nuclear family, all you need to deal with is maybe a spouse, maybe kids, majority of the time. However, it's at work, you need to be able to work with different kinds of people. In your team, bosses, different departments, clients, vendors, and whatnot. So when the Sagittarius sign goes into the 10th house, the zodiac is telling you that without evolving through the learning, through the experiences, through the situations which work gives you, you may not gain. What is the 10th house? The 10th house is also about your status in your society through your work, how you gain, the designation that you get, the growth that you get, the acknowledgement that you get, the appreciation that you get, and the increments that you get through your work. So and through your karma, which means your work, your career, your karma should be connected to your ability to be able to be more flexible in as a learning person. So situations will be thrown at you, but you have to learn through the situation and evolve as a person. Through learning, through the experiences, becoming a better employee, becoming a better team member, becoming a better colleague, sometimes even becoming a better boss, then the gains come to you. However, this is also placement that sometimes the best rapport that you may have may be with a senior. Somebody who is senior to you may or may not be your boss, or maybe in the aligned department or previous connection, or previous boss may also serve as somebody who can also be your sounding board, or also a mentor, or as a go-to person for your problem solving also. So this can bring a lot of rich relations connected to your work. This can also bring a lot of experiences that you gain. You learn from your bosses, you emulate them, you walk on their footsteps, and then you gain over a period of time. Now, when the Sagittarius sign goes into the 11th house of the Navamsa chart, the D9 chart, this is a very, very strong placement in terms of your ability to be able to contribute, to be able to do more for others, to give as a contribution to masses, because the 11th house is the house of masses. However, the Navamsa is about relationships, acquaintances, partnerships, your ability to be able to work with people. So here, the zodiac gives you an ability to be able to work with masses. A lot of people with Sagittarius sign in the 11th house, if you're very smart, if you know, and if you're ready to learn, because that's what Sagittarius sign means, your ability to experience and then learn and evolve as a person. So if Sagittarius sign is in the 11th house of the Navamsa, how you are able to learn and to be able to be flexible to learn through your attachments, through your acquaintances, through your relationship. And when you are able to do that, you are able to spread your connections, spread your social connections, spread your social network to such an extent that you get to know more and more people. You spread your network, and then before you know, you may be able to influence a variety of people, large masses. So this is a very, very potent energy. The more you are able to learn how to deal with people, how to deal with masses, excellent placement for long-term gains coming over a period of time, but with initial situations, initial challenges through which your ability to evolve as a person, which Sagittarius sign gives you a learning opportunity and then gain. But this is the best placement where you can also be somebody who can also give the most learning and come across maybe as somebody who is very competent in being able to help a variety of people, even masses. A lot of people who are very, very qualified, very competent, and through the experiences, through their competence, through their wisdom, able to heal or help a variety of masses through this placement. Now, when the Sagittarius sign is in the 12th house of the Navamsa chart, this is a very, very strong placement where on one side, the zodiac is telling you that the 12th house of challenges, expenses, waste, and your ability to not be able to keep your losses in control, all these challenges will be thrown at you so that you evolve as a person, you learn. However, there is a lot of spirituality which is attached to the 12th house and the Navamsa. So what is the zodiac telling you? What is the Srishti telling you? See, our life is about people. Without dealing with people, we are not able to give up or do our karma, especially if you are carrying negative baggage, or maybe we owe somebody, and those people are those who will keep getting connected to us every now and then. We don't know somebody who in this current innings what we have done earlier. Okay, in the earlier innings, that person could have been your boss in earlier life, but now is your spouse, and so on. So here in the 12th house, it says that you will have to have a very spiritual approach to your relationships, your acquaintances, your connections, which the Navamsa represents, the D9 chart represents. So in a lot of your connections, you will go through those initial challenges, issues, losses, and sometimes it may also be that you are at the receiving end initially. Before you learn, you through those experiences evolve as a person, become more wise, and then wiser to other people, then you gain from it. However, this is a placement where on one side, the ability to be able to be more spiritual, to be able to be more giving, even in your losses to be more spiritual, to be more accommodative, yet being very optimistic, a little bit risk taking also, and then gaining. Not only gaining from materialistic gains in this life, from foreign lands, from foreign connections, from MNCs, but also in terms of your karma, in terms of even your moksha. Though Sagittarius sign is not directly related to moksha, but what it does is, because it has the 9th house energies, which means in your faith, if you have the belief that if I do more for others, if I'm more accommodating, if you learn to deal with different kinds of people, and you're still more giving, then gains come to you. So if you have Sagittarius sign in the 12th house, be ready to be able to balance, to have a balance in your relationship, to do more, to be more wise, to little losses also in terms of how much you gain from others, and to still be okay with it, to still be cheerful, to still be optimistic, to still be happy. And then you will find that your karma, the negative baggage that you're carrying with people, that is slowly getting evened out. And usually this is the placement where after your 30s, after your 40s, with some people, gains come to you, a lot of gains come to you. A lot of people who are in foreign lands, and only after initial 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years through all those obstacles, then they have done very, very well, excellently well in this placement. If Sagittarius sign goes into the 12th house, a balance of both materialistic gain and spiritual placement is this placement. So friends, now that we have talked about how Sagittarius sign in the 12 houses in the D9 chart, in the Navamsa, behaves, throws up different opportunities for you, throws up different permutations, combinations, possibilities for you. Also do see which planet is placed in your D9 chart in the different houses, especially in the Sagittarius sign, and how it relates to its placement in the D1 chart, in the Lagna chart, because you have to see both the placements together. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.